What a dump. 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 Dump. What a dump. What a dump. What a dump.
I had written it as an homage to, it's either Elizabeth Taylor or Betty Davis. And I think it's Elizabeth Taylor. It's Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. And she walks up on a misty, rainy New England night in black and white, in a fur coat, with a bottle of liquor in her right hand. You see this woman walking up this stone pathway to this house. And, nothing fancy about the house. It's just a house. And she goes in, and inside, the place is a complete mess. There's cigarettes still burning in the ashtray. There's a record that's come to the end, and it's just on a repeat on the thing, on the glitch. And underneath a stack of newspapers is Richard Burton. And that's when she looks around, lights a cigarette, and says,
"What a dump." Hey, what's that from? What a dump.
"What a dump."
What? It's like the what? What a dump.
What a dump. No, it's on the word dump. What a dump. Listen to what I'm saying. What a dump.
What a dump.
What a dump. It's da-dee-dum.
What a dump.
Or a little faster. Yada-da. That's it. It's yada-da. What a dump.
What a dump.
That's it.
What a dump. Okay. All right, I will get that done for you.
Disgusting dump.
Dump. What a dump.
Onomatopoeia or something?
Onomatopoeia.
What a disgusting dump. How can you people live like this?
Right. I was too prim and proper.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're a very prim and proper guy.
Every spring, along with the mockingbirds and crows, Hamilton residents welcome the return of moonflowers, an indigenous creeping vine that sprouts delicate florets, which at night bloom and produce an anodyne fragrance, claimed by some, even Indian Princess Pocahontas, to be an aphrodisiac. To be an aphrodisiac. I'm trying to be seductive, Clive. To be an aphrodisiac.
What happens is it's all too big. Because we're going to be talking to people for over an hour, or just under an hour, we can't be too big, because if we're too big, we'll wear them down. So sometimes you're too big. Sometimes actors it's too big to act. It could all be a lot quieter. So that when you do turn on the acting chops, or you do make a statement with the tone of your voice, it's huge. It really ripples.
"Anyone home?" said Ewing. "I'm in here," replied Brooke, sitting at the kitchen table with a glass of wine. Grabbing a stool, Ewing said, "You're never gonna believe it. I just spent 2 hours screwing the daylights out of Una O'Neill." "You're never gonna believe it. I just spent 2 hours screwing the daylights out of Una O'Neill." What the fuck? I've definitely heard Robert De Niro say something about actors act too much and actually you need to deliver the lines quietly.
Some people love acting, and there are some kinds of theater and some kinds of stories where it's all larger than life. If a story is like the surface of a lake or the ocean, and it's always a storm, you'll never see when the storm hits. I prefer it to be quiet and underplayed and no acting at all. But no acting is a form of acting, or unacting as I call it. Line 225 is, "What are you saying?" asked Brooke. "Bill, you're huge. You're too huge. You're a documentary film director, not an actor, so don't act as much. Bring it down. Give me 3 in a row, smaller."
So it needs to be more like, what are you saying? What are you saying? What? What? See, this is me. I'm acting too much. What are you saying?
See, that's what I don't want you to do. What are you saying? Asked Brooke. That's huge. Let's do the pickup of the line, 3 in a row. What are you saying? And if you want to do it bigger to smaller, do it bigger to smaller. But it should be much smaller. It's a little piece of sushi. We're not eating an entire, trout. Okay, I'm going to line read you in.
Okay.
Brooke, I love Una. She's my everything. I want Una. I must have her. And you say?
What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? Asked Brooke. Yes, said Ewing, growing dark. Una is my everything. I'm obsessed. Infatuated. How long has this been going on? Asked Brooke. I don't know, said Ewing. A week, a month, I can't remember. All I know is I've never been so happy.
How's it been working during the pandemic?
I'm struggling to fall asleep at 3 in the morning and waking up at, 11 o'clock. And the hours that I am awake are well used in recording this thing for you. So shut in my closet is just fine. On the outskirts of Hamilton, the scent of moonflowers tingled their nostrils, and Sugar and Ewing felt closer than ever. As the two friends drove to the railway crossing on Route 7, Ewing turned to look at Sugar, and Sugar looked in Ewing's eyes, and then time stood still. Sorry, Clive, I can hear a train. I'm just going to hold for a second. So in preparation for this, I've been listening to more audiobooks, which I don't typically do because I fall asleep during them.
Yeah.
I find it a difficult way of digesting a book, actually. But what I noticed is that a lot of the narrators put on accents for the characters. And so I'm just wanted to know your thoughts on how you hear these characters, how you want me to treat each individual. Am I doing accents?
The problem is I have listened to easily $3,000 worth of audiobooks since they first started coming out. I was a fan. And you have some great actors, but Meryl Streep, good example. She did a couple of short stories of John Cheever's. And she never once did an accent. She could have, but she never once did. She does Meryl Streep, and then when she does a voice of a character, she moves just 3 degrees, maybe 5, away from her narration voice, and then she goes back to the neutrality of the narration. It's a rare day in hell that somebody plays the roles and doesn't just turn it into a disaster.
I'm just never going to be able to do it. Growing up in Hidden Hills, California, made Una a hard-drinking, amoral, rapacious, aimless, hypocritical, drug-addled, passionate, dirty, loud, shallow, dangerous, flippant, holier-than-thou, sex-addicted, dishonest, self-absorbed, and utterly charismatic individual. Her moral foundations were nil, her decision tree shaky at best.
Well, that's one of the funny things about the character we have in Moonflowers is a valley girl from Hidden Hills, Los Angeles, and you're not a valley girl. And although you're very funny as one, it's distracting when you play it.
Yeah.
So when I was writing the Una character, I used the annoying discursive like a lot.
Oh my God, said Ewing. It's her. She wants to go speakerphone. Do not put me on, replied Brooke. Hello, Ewing, it's me, Una. Is this a good time to talk? Is Brooke there? Hello, Miss Turner. Or should I call you Brooke? It's Una O'Neill. I'm sure Ewing has told you about me by now. Like, I don't know what to say.
And if you just say them as a narrator, without trying to sound like a valley girl, it's just enough, a thimbleful or a teaspoonful is just enough sugar to get the listener to go, okay, I understand.
Right, okay. Because I was worried that my English accent would break the illusion, or just break the immersion of it.
Maybe it would for some people, but not for me.
As Ewing opened the door, Una tossed him his missing crucifix and said, I think this is yours, I think this is yours. Yours, yours. Ooh. I think this is yours. You left it on the sink in the bathroom at the motel. I think this is yours. I think this is... What is that accent? Yours, you, yours, 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 you. I've gone Liverpudlian, Clive.
You're not from Liverpool. I don't know where how did you fall into that rabbit hole?
I got stuck in that line, it's yours, you. And the shortening of his name from Ewing to you, and yours, you, and it just...
Yours, you. You left it on the sink. You left it on the sink in the bathroom of the motel. The sink. You left it on the sink in the bathroom of the motel. I think this is yours, you. I think this is yours. I think this is yours, you. I think this is yours.
I think it was also a combination of like those two words together, and also trying to be a Valley girl but keep my English accent, but lean towards that, but not put on and it all scrambled my brain.
As Ewing opened the door, Una tossed him his missing crucifix and said, "I think this is yours, you. I think this is yours."
What you speak with it's what we call as received pronunciation over here in the colonies. And there was a gal who taught received pronunciation from Canada, ironically. And she wrote a book called How to Speak with Distinction. And she taught all the Hollywood actors, most of whom could have been from Winnipeg or Manitoba or from Chicago or from the Bronx or from Florida or Texas. She taught them how to speak like you with received pronunciation. And so when we watch movies from the 40s and 50s, if they were real hard-working American types living in New York City in that period in the 40s, with the exception of Bogart, they're supposed to be Americans, so why do they sound like they came from Britain? Darling, I'll have another coffee. How wonderful. Why don't you invite the Wilmots over this afternoon? Oh, we'll have them over this afternoon. Well, that'll be just great. Can I have another coffee and another martini, please? Whatever, Americans don't talk like that. I think as long as you capture the spirit of the character...
Okay.
And the language of the character, you don't really have to go into an impersonation of the character.
Well, that's the thing. It feels like an impersonation because I'm not an actor, and so it feels fake to me.
Although Ewing was prepared to keep their torrid affair under wraps, Una insisted he come clean to his wife Brooke because it was, well, after all, like the 21st century, and you know what I mean. That's as flaky a pastry as can be baked. But by now, Ewing was under Una's spell and went along with every harebrained thing she said. So, just as fireflies are drawn to moonflowers, Ewing and Una were secretly meeting every day.
But where was the line about her little nose? She scrunched her nose. Ah, yeah, here it is. It's 10:49. When she was upright, she nibbled playfully on the tip of her index finger, pressed her cute button nose up to the window of the plane. And I was thinking of Michael Jackson there, his wax nose.
So it like deforms and then just stays in place.
Yeah, I just changed that because I wanted to have the narrator, you, just the last gesture for the character is that not only is she a monster and a sexual pervert or whatever, and a thief and a liar and a cheat, she has a cute button nose. And I thought, just leave you with one last little thing.
When she was upright, she nibbled playfully on the tip of her index finger, pressed her cute button nose to the window of the plane and whispered, "God's been, good to me."